We are live. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to the New Cool Meat Podcast, episode 37. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're just going live now. Like, who gives a shit? We do the show at 6 on a Thursday, but for circumstances beyond our control, completely beyond our control, we've been preempting it a little bit. Last week we had to preempt because there was some dicey things in the news and we didn't want to get yanked off of the air. And it's happening. We were like, look, if we come on and we give our opinions about the big things that are happening, we know what the government's going to do. They're going to get us and say, you're done, right? And when God took it upon himself to remove Brock Purdy from the National Football League with toe turf, turf toe? When he got him out of there, then I was like, I can't be held liable for what I'm going to say on the podcast. You know what I mean? I'm emotional right now.
Yeah.
Like, I could say something and then they'll say, get that man off of the air. He can't be, So for the good of Brock Purdy and the nation, we said, let's just put off one more week. So now I've had time to process my grief. They're telling me Brock Purdy's practicing. So while Brock Purdy's practicing with a turf toe, I'm going to come back and do this again. I want to say, by the way, you questioned, Tony, Brock Purdy's toughness.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Let's go over this.
You can't read.
Tell me what you told me.
I said I never questioned his toughness. I questioned his durability. There's a difference. I questioned the frailty of his body.
And why did you question his durability?
Because he gets hurt
to me.
And he's small.
That to me
he's got small hands.
No, he doesn't get hurt.
It does.
That's
he's been hurt multiple times now.
You're making up.
What was he last week? Was he not hurt last week?
3 games.
He missed almost an entire NFC title game because he got his elbow
in that game. Sure.
Yeah, because
but I'm saying questioning his durability is crazy to me. He's missed 3 games.
It's fair. I said, and that's not even what I said. I said, at what point can we start to question his durability?
But
right?
that's what
what point can? And I was met with such backlash from a subsect of people, which is crazy to me. It's like they all leaped up to protect him.
Game. I'm just asking questions.
That was in the wake of Mac Jones' 4 touchdown performance. So I'm just wondering what happens if
special.
Is Brock coming back?
Give it up for Mac Jones. A lot of people said he was done. He was washed. Now he looks special, and I got to say, I was wrong about Mac Jones.
Yeah. Some people are asking if Brock Purdy's coming back too early because he's worried about losing his job.
Nobody's asking that, and
here's what I'm guessing. Asking it.
Brock Purdy's not playing this weekend, even though he's practicing, even though he might be good to go, because he's saying, "Listen, you have to let young guys get their opportunities in this league. It's not, Brock Purdy's spot is secure. There's no worry about what Brock's got going on in the future. He's an Ariat spokesman." That's one of the biggest boot makers in America, by the way. I don't even know if they make their boots in America, but it's one of the biggest American boot makers. If he was sponsored by Red Wing, obviously I would be more excited because that's a good boot brand. Ariat is kind of garbage. It's kind of disgusting. You never heard of Ariat?
No, never.
Oh, well, you know what?
Not a boot guy.
I bet in Missoula they probably wear better boots. But like you have to keep in mind, in the rest of America where people don't actually need their boots, they're just for fashion. Yeah. Like this is like the way I'm trying to think of like if you want like a good truck, you're not buying like some,
Cybertruck.
Yeah. It's like the Cybertruck of boots. It's just for fashion. It's not function,
Yeah. Kind of like Doc Martens.
100% like Doc Martens, except for Doc Martens actually have they were cheap. And
I got a sweet pair of Docs that I rock in the winter. They're really good boots. So
yeah, these are like for if you want to pretend you're a cowboy, buy these boots. And, people go out there. Yeah, so it's for the rural sort of. It's for
Yellowstone people.
Jelly Roll. If you're a Jelly Roll guy, if you're Post Malone, if your favorite country song is the Post Malone Jelly Roll song, you have a pair of Ariats. If your favorite country music is real country music, you wouldn't be caught dead in a pair of air yachts. You would rather shoot yourself in the neck. It's a horrible way to go. But that's how you would like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want people to see me in these boots, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sure. But anyways, Brock Purdy, he was out. There were people questioning his durability, which is in a way questioning his toughness. But what you're saying is if you're not durable, you're not tough.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Because, I mean, you can be tough as all... Because there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. If you're injured, you probably can't play because you have like a torn thing or something that could get worse by playing. Now, if you're just hurt, you have an injury that can't get worse by going out there. You just have to deal with the pain. That, to me, is durability. And Brock seems tough as hell. Like, Brock would have played with that broken elbow if they would have let him, but you got to protect him against his frail body. So,
yeah. Listen, he's not frail. That's first of all. He's a corn-fed white boy from the farm. You know what I mean?
He's got little hands, man. I don't know.
I know he's from Florida by way of Arizona.
He's from. I think the only time he ever went to Florida was last year when he went down to Miami and the Dolphins beat him. I think that's the only time he's ever been
Florida.
down.
He grew up a Dolphins fan, which actually is a red sign.
It's a red flag.
I think. Wait, what year was Brock Purdy born? I'm just curious now.
I'm gonna guess 1990.
How old do you imagine this boy is?
Is he like 25 or something? Is he like 25 or something? Is that 2000?
He is exactly 25. Yeah. He was born in December 27th, 1999.
Yeah, we haven't won a playoff game since.
In Queen Creek, Arizona. That's what I was gonna say. So like, he's grew up his whole life as a Dolphins fan. He's never even seen his team win a playoff game. So I get why mentally he would be fragile, but physically he's a strong boy.
Oh yeah, that team sucks. That's hard to watch. Good thing I'm more of a college football guy.
Oh yeah, how's your team going?
We're number 4 in the nation, doing pretty good.
I'm doing the blast stuff now. I'm saying live now with Tony Gregori. Talk about how Tony Gregori. I mumbled over your name, sorry. Talking about how we are carrying on Jimmy Kimmel's legacy of laughter and manhood while he is being censored by the U.S. government. Is that fair? Is that what we're doing?
I think that's what we're doing.
If I think of Jimmy Kimmel, I think of two things: laughter and manhood. You know.
Mm-hmm. The Man Show, yeah. What's his boy said about it? Adam, what's his nuts?
Well, I know Adam Carolla has always been a free speech advocate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue what he thinks about the situation. I'm going to look it up.
I actively avoid everything.
Adam Carolla defends former co-host after Kimmel's show is shelved by the network. You know what? The rare opportunity, you have to hand it to Adam Carolla. Because if we had a show together, which we do, but if we were to leave this show and you had a show and I had a show, and my show was massively successful, ABC late night, meanwhile you're doing podcasts with Dr. Drew on the Daily Wire network, which by the way,
out of my garage or whatever,
sort of. Yeah, but I could see you being bitter, like fuck him, you know?
Yeah, fuck that guy. No, Adam Carolla stuck by his boy.
Glad he's in hell.
That's good. That's good. That's respect.
Yeah, you know what? It's rare when you have to hand it to Adam Carolla for doing the right thing and standing by his principles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he said though, because that article I opened up.
You know who else is in that group? Simmons, the Podfather's in that little group of people too.
Simmons is in what group of people? The Daily Wire group?
Carolla and Kimmel. He's boys with all those guys. You know, those are his cousin. Calls him Cousin Jimmy. You know.
Yeah,
because he was a writer on that show.
So speaking of, oh right, I forgot about that. Speaking of Jimmy Kimmel, I wanted to talk about this because, I was gonna say, like, as you know, I've been in a healthy, committed relationship. Very mature. It's actually incredibly normal. I'm becoming a normie. Like I was out one night because I was at a game night. I don't know if we talked about that since we've done the show. Maybe.
No.
But I was really good at one game and horrible at another game.
I think this was
What's that?
The last show was pre-game night.
I think that might have been the case. But the point is that I'm becoming more of a normie, and one thing that happened since then was there's been some major news updates, which we're not going to talk about on the show because we're not a politics podcast, as you know. We don't talk about politics at all. We talk about manhood, which is why we're doing a tribute to Jimmy Kimmel right now, our favorite guy, the king of late night, some call him. The beloved
America's
Jimmy Kimmel.
Beloved, yeah.
America's
that was debatable at
Jimmy
one
Kimmel.
point. I remember that being debatable at one point, and now it's.
I debated it, in fact.
Yeah, you debated it, and you lost.
I think Ibrahim, or who called him beloved?
Ibrahim. Yeah.
And I was like, he's not beloved. And it became it was like a fiery debate. It was like pedantic. What does beloved mean? Well, how could you say he's beloved? We were looking up definitions in the dictionary. It was a real knockdown, drag out war. And then I held on to that for a while because I was like, he's not beloved. And then like last year or so, we were trying to determine who the king of late night is. And we watched all of their monologues. Every single one of the late night guys, we watched their monologues, and Jimmy Kimmel's was far and away the funniest. And he was routinely far and away the funniest every time we'd watch it. He would always get the best guests. He would always be the most with it, sort of knew what was going on the most. He would be in the mix if like somebody was like having a weird celebrity like sort of moment, like Kimmel was on it. And the other guys, Colbert, complete shit, garbage, not into it. Fallon, just mid. Actually, not mid, just useless. You know, basically should not even be there. It was like insulting to the Rizzler, by the way, which is fucked up. So like, yeah, we watched all them. I think we watched who's the other guy that would have been there too?
Seth.
Oh, Seth, yeah, and Seth is like he's okay, but he's no Kimmel.
Yeah. I think that was it, right?
Was that?
I think that's it.
I think that's it, yeah. And then we watched The Daily Show, I think, too, and it was like, okay, that's funny, but it's not really the same thing. And it's also not as funny as Jimmy. The only problem that Jimmy would routinely have is that, like, after he would do a funny bit, like, there would be some, like, pre-recorded segment or, like, skit that they would do, and it would be, like, brutally unfunny. And it'd be like, why are you doing this? Like, you just had a killer monologue. We're crying laughing at how funny this guy is. He's the funniest man in America, probably. And then he would have this skit that would just die on the vine. And instead of just like ending it, it just kept going. And we would just be like, what is this? You know, why are you offering like your platform to these hack motherfuckers that are ruining your show actively? But, you know, he was a giver. He's a giver. You know?
He's a generous guy.
So, Jimmy Kimmel has apparently told friends we're living in, quote, strange time. Kimmel's longtime friend and former comedy partner Adam Carolla revealed that he reached out to the talk show host just hours after Jimmy Kimmel Live was yanked off the air for remarks Kimmel made about something that we won't talk about because we're not a political podcast. I don't even know what he said. I don't know what he did. Right?
He just made fun of Trump.
Actually,
he made fun of Trump.
There's nothing political about that, really. Like Trump is the president, but he's also one of the biggest goofs in the world, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He didn't actually say anything about Charlie Kirk at all. Really?
Oh, who? I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. I don't even know I'm not even touching that one with a 10-foot pole. You know what? I'm not touching that one with a 20-yard pole, even. I'm not touching it at all. I don't know who you mean. We are live on the air right now. You can't do that in Trump's America. You have to be careful about what you say. So what he was talking about, I don't know. That's none of my business, okay? I just want to put that out there. Currently, I'm dealing with a lot, but with Brock Purdy just going back to practice. You know what I mean? Actually, I wish there was like a sad audience noise. I barely have like boo, but that's not appropriate. And I have laughter, but there's nothing funny about turf toe. Turf toe is one of the most devastating injuries that afflicted like Civil War soldiers. You know,
and Deion Sanders. Fuck Deion Sanders
and
up pretty
Deion
good.
Sanders. But like in the Civil War, people were getting turf toe left and right. It was one of the biggest causes of death. You get turf toe, you die instantly.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, want to give a shout out to, speaking of turf toe, speaking of toe injuries, we have to give a new cool meat shout out to Chloe. What's Chloe's last name? Chloe Brailsford. Chloe, if you're watching, we want to give a shout out to you because you almost lost your toe to a debilitating toe injury, and instead you get to keep your toe. I don't know if that was turf toe. I think she said it was some sort of ingrown fungus infection type situation, but the doctors, they took a look at it and sort of like, I imagine they were in hazmat suits when they looked at her toe. I imagine it was a full room of people with like that they have like some of those rooms where there's like an audience upstairs.
Yeah.
Like I bet they had like one of those rooms where they brought her in. Everybody's in hazmat suits. There's like a whole there's a theater of people watching, and they look at her toe and like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. But it was like probably green, oozing weird other colored liquids, orange liquids, yellow liquids, things of this nature, liquids that should not be coming out of your toe. Really, no liquid should be coming out of your toe, and your toe should always be the color of your skin. But Chloe,
unless you're Trump.
Unless you're Trump. Wait, hold on. No, unless you're Trump. You know what? This is like sort of Jimmy Kimmel type roasting that Trump can't handle. So we got to be careful.
Might get us taken off the air. We got to be careful.
We might get yanked off. They might get us with one of those hooks and just yank us off the air, dude. We are Jimmy Kimmel's strongest soldiers, and we're his fedayeen, if you will. And now that they've gotten our leader, like sort of our Osama bin Laden type figure, they're gonna get us now. So we have to be careful. We have to keep it, on the straight and narrow. Nothing crazy. So anyways, wow, it's strange times out here, Kimmel wrote, according to Carolla on Thursday's Adam Carolla show. The late night talk show host was indefinitely suspended on Wednesday. Carolla said, I just sent him a text because you want to be on record as understanding or knowing or whatever. What? What a funny way to say that. Not like I sent him a text because I hope he's doing okay.
Like I need an alibi. I need evidence.
I want everyone to know that I care about this person. So I just, on record, I sent him a message to be like, oh, how are you doing?
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell. The former Man Show co-host revealed on his podcast, it just said, thinking about you. I hope you're okay. He also added that he reminded Kimmel that he does, quote, not need to reply. However...
Wait, are they not boys anymore? Because why would he not reply? Like, I don't... You know what I mean? Like, that insinuates that like maybe there's some like bad blood.
I bet there was bad blood, but you know how it goes though. Sometimes where like if something happens, something crazy, someone that and you haven't talked to them in a minute, you're like, oh, I want to text them to see what's going on, if I can get the inside dirt, the inside scoop. But I haven't talked to them in enough time to like know what's going on, and like they'll just think, oh, you're only messaging me because it's like you want to get the clout, you want to get talk about what I have to say. This happens to me all the time.
What the hot goss?
I want to know what's going on, but I don't want to like be involved with this strange person for like months at a time leading up to the event. If somebody's crashing out, I let them do that over there, and then I'll come in later. But in this situation, I get why. It's like he's the biggest story in America right now, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
if they basically Trump committed regicide. Killed the king of late night. Yeah,
well, he might come back. They're saying he might come back.
I think the betting odds are like 54% he's back by the end of the year, and like 20% is that he's back by the end of this month. How do you feel about that? How do you like those odds? Bet USA, by the way.
Is that really those the odds on Bet USA? I would put more money on he'd be back within a month.
Within this month though?
Next month, October.
I like the action of him coming back within this month. If it's 20% odds, if you're giving me, what is that, like 5 to 1 odds?
Mm-hmm.
Give me that action.
Give me that action.
Because here's the thing. The only person that can truly cancel you, and I get that there's bigger things at play here. The the FCC chairman is a fucking idiot goof.
Yeah, the whole merger
named
shit.
Carr.
Yeah,
So, is that right? His name is Carr, like Carr, like the former disgraced Raiders quarterback. What's next? Jamarcus Russell as the FCC chairman. Paris is literally a podcaster, but I don't know what that's in reference to. Salt says, "I hope Kimmel comes back with the woke man show," and I'm not kidding. That would be. He would be He would kind of be like getting in on our territory. That's literally what this is. We're the woke man show. We are two woke men doing sort of man show type, comedic bits.
Yeah.
Oh, Paris is Carr. He's just some right wing guy who goes on podcasts. Yeah, well, I assumed it was like one of Derek Carr's brothers because they're also very yappy. They'd like to talk. They don't like to throw footballs well.
Aren't they from Fresno, or is that just really school?
No, I think they were from that area. Garbage. They're like Christians from that area, which means you got to be demented. You know that if you're a Christian anywhere in this California Central Valley, like especially Stanislaus and below, you're psychotic. You're basically living a Waco lifestyle. There's basically all down Central California. There's just a bunch of David Koreshes just like seeping money from like ex-farm people, Like there's no industry in that whole area. I don't know what they're doing down there.
Oh, wow.
It's just people like Bakersfield. Have you ever been to Bakersfield?
No.
It's a fucking nightmare. I don't know what is going on there, but they have.
I've never been north of Los Angeles in California.
Oh, really? One of these days, you got to come out here, though.
Yeah, I want to.
That would be sick. You could see. Yeah. You could see what the beautiful Central Valley, the beautiful part of the Central Valley up north is all about.
Yeah, we could go see the Golden Gate Bridge. I hear that's a cool thing.
It's very close to where I live. It's a stone's throw away from where I'm at. It's like right next to the Redwoods, right next to Santa Clara, which is where the 49ers play football. By the way,
Super Bowl is going to be there this year.
49ers, the undefeated 49ers. Wait, hold on. You know what? I'm wearing a bandana because I just got back from a walk and I forgot.
There you go.
My 49ers, baby. I see you're wearing a U of M hat. I don't know what that's all about.
It's all about the U.
Any more disastrous scandals hit that program lately?
No, once we're allowed to pay the players, it was all great.
You're Dr. Luke. If you're Dr. Luke and they're allowed to pay the players now, you gotta so what was that all for then? Why is everybody mad at me? Why was everybody mad at some of the best music ever made?
Yeah, and speaking about free speech, that was the first free speech warrior.
He was a true free speech warrior. He was getting at that one bitch, Tipper Gore. Is that right? Yeah. Is that Al Gore's wife?
Yeah.
That's nasty. Al Gore, that's an L for you, bro. Yeah. Your wife sucks, dude.
Yeah. That was the thing. Whereas like back then it was like, oh yeah, Al Gore's cool, but his wife is such a bitch. Like you can't vote for this guy.
Part of this Ramon blooded up walking outside crazy. No. This is a darker bandana than it appears on camera. I wear green. I never wear this all red. It has to be with either sort of green shorts, so I look very Mexican, although somewhat dangerous as well. But I'm always very conscious to not look like I'm blooded out. Frankly, I gotta make sure. And I never wear blue bandanas, period. Because if I was going to be in a gang, it would be a red gang. Because I love the 49ers. I could not, I bleed red and gold,
Yeah, you're already Niner gang, so.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but I was talking to my dad, and like, my dad was never in a gang, right? But he's from Southside Tracy, where there's lots of gangs. And we were having this like long conversation where he just kept like he's not in a gang, but he hated scraps. That's what they call like people who wore blue out here, right? Hated them. And I'm like, so like Dad, like you say you're not in a gang, but like it sounds like you in your youth did like gang activity. So I'm like, so if you were in a gang, which gang would you have been in? He's like, well, I would have been in the other one,
Yeah.
I'm like, right. But
all
you
my
were
friends are
like,
in that I hung out with all the time.
yeah, he's like all the friends I hung out with, all the people I did dirty shit with, all these people. Yes, like I was not in that gang. His reasoning was he could never be in a gang because he could never like fight a family member, and if they just happened to be in the other gang, they would have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He would never do that, right?
Sure.
Which is like my dad had weird sort of moral boundaries that he would set like that, where it would be like, I'm not in a gang, however, I'm gonna do all this gang shit with all these gang members, but I'm not in the gang, right? And like he would never call any of his family members, like his aunts or uncles, he would never call them Thea or Theo or anything like that. He would never call his parents mom or dad. It was always just their names. And it was like he was like that. He had these weird respect things, and it was so bizarre to me. But like I try to get to the root of it, and I just can't do it. He's just like a impenetrable force with that kind of stuff. But that's okay. I have not talked to him in months, probably. He'll like hit me up, like, hey, what's up, Marcus? We'll talk for a while, and then he'll be like, we should get breakfast. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then we never do it. And then we'll talk to each other in a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
It's a healthy relationship though, I think.
That's cool.
Anyway, is that?
So that's cool. It's cool that you all are on good terms.
We have things that work for us. There's no bad blood, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not outside.
That's kind of like that. The whole gang. I get that gang rationale though, because it's kind of like why I don't do fantasy football. Because I don't want to like pick against my own team or like go against the. Hope that like some guy thrashes my team's defense. Of course, it's a Dolphins, so it's going to happen anyway. But like, I would hate to have to root for that.
Me is my strategy when I'm allowed to draft, when I'm not getting ratted out by the fucking rats in my league, who are rats, by the way. I'm talking about all these motherfuckers. Gavin Guidry, who's the crooked commish, and Tom Riley, Ford Gilmore, who are people like Brian Level, talk about all these. I'm in one with a lot of comic artists. There's a lot of rat comic artists out here. Ricardo Ortiz, a lot of rats in our business because they knew I was going to be at a convention weeks ago, and they still held the draft the night of the convention when I would be driving home. Why didn't you just get on your phone and draft? Because I'm driving home. I don't text and drive. I'm not a freak, I'm not a criminal. I have codes, just like my dad did. But anyways, Kimmel responded seconds later to Adam Carolla saying he was, quote, being followed by a helicopter.
What?
He's still getting his jokes off. You know what? Shout out to Kimmel in good spirits. He's like, you know how crazy that would be though if you're the freakiest guy that like the biggest dumbass who's like, hey man, hope you're doing okay. And it's like, yeah man, I'm fine. Being followed by a helicopter, ha ha ha. Like he just wanted you could tell Kimmel just wanted to get this guy out of his fucking phone. You know what I mean? He was like, dude, leave me alone. He knew he was gonna, he knew he'd be unable to fucking resist the clout of saying that he spoke with him, which Kimmel was right. I bet. Anyways, the decision comes after Kimmel's comments drew the ire of FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, and shortly after Nexstar Media, one of the largest owners of TV stations in the country, announced they would preempt Jimmy Kimmel for the foreseeable future, for beginning with tonight's show on all of their, quote, owned and partnered television stations affiliated with the ABC television network. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning something that I will not talk about on the show because we're not a political podcast, but Kimmel made some remarks, let's just say, about something that happened in the world today. This is, by the way, the chilling effect that has when you kill the free speech warrior Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, this whole thing, man, has been a real pain in the neck.
It's been a real pain in the neck, dude. I see what you did there. I don't want to talk about. Hold on.
What?
No.
What then?
That's not what we were doing. I'm talking about the greatest free speech warrior, Jimmy Kimmel, who was assassinated on live television, metaphorically, by the Trump administration. Okay? But we're not talking about why that happened. That's irrelevant to what's going on. This is what they did to Jimmy Kimmel was the most disgusting thing I've seen on my phone in weeks. You know? It was not funny like other things that I saw that were kind of funny. And that I won't talk about because this is not a political podcast. This is
I'll talk about it. The last couple episodes of Platonic have been hilarious.
Oh, really? Is it funny?
Yeah, it's so funny. Rose Byrne, Seth Rogen, it's great.
Dude, I love Rose Byrne. I love Seth Rogen. They were neighbors, right?
Yeah, they're neighbors. Yeah, and you might like it now, especially that you're more normie, because it's about relationships and friendships and.
Oh, dude, I love that.
Couples double dating and stuff, and.
I've been on a double date, kind of. You know, so now that I'm more of a normie, I might like these sort of shows about, you know, normal people doing normal things, because I'm normal and I do normal things now. I used to be a freak. I used to be sort of a hermit freak, weirdo, obsessive loser, but I've changed my life in about the span of a month. Completely normal, completely well adjusted. Could not be more normal now. Everybody, if somebody says, "What's the deal with Ramon?" Say he's a normal guy. You don't have to say, "Oh, he's a fucking psychopath who tweets too much" or whatever. People used to say all kinds of crazy things about me that were not true, by the way. But they used to say them, and I would have no retort because I was like, "Okay, well, I'm using Twitter too much." But now that I'm not on Twitter or whatever, and now that I'm not doing any of that stuff, they could say he's normal. They don't know what's going on inside my head, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways,
you can put up a facade.
This is not a facade. This is really who I am. This isn't a lie or a manipulation. This is the genuine article right now that you're seeing on this podcast. A very, very normal guy who would never make an off-color remark that the government would disagree with. I only make comments that the government would agree with. Like, for example, everybody, you know, be Christian now. Pray. See, but old me would have said something crazy like, everybody don't be a Christian. Wait, no. Don't be a Christian, what I would have said before, because I was a freak atheist. But now that now that I've dating someone, I'm a Christian now. I'm a man of God. So anyways, the FCC chair went on a podcast Wednesday, per the Hollywood Reporter, where he said that the affiliates should, quote, push back on ABC and tell the network, listen, we're not going to run Kimmel anymore until you straighten this out, because we're running the possibility of a license revocation from the FCC if we continue to run content that ends up being a pattern of news distortion. In place of Kimmel's program on Friday, Sinclair Broadcast Group said all of its stations will air a Charlie Cook. Charlie
Cook.
Charlie, I said, no,
Charlie Cook.
Charlie cooked. No. That was a mistake. This is not a political podcast. I don't even know who Charlie Cook is, okay? They will be airing a remembrance special to somebody who passed away for who knows why. Not my business. This is not a political podcast.
I think we can all agree that killing people is bad no matter what, you know, like
I hate killing
Gaza, people. Whether you're in, you know,
whether you're just getting pulled over by an ICE agent and
they
ICE. Kill you. Don't agree with killing. I'm a pacifist, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I actually had a conversation with somebody, I won't say who, but they were like, "Oh, you're a political guy. What if somebody were to do something to you like what happened to this event that we don't talk about on the show because it's not a political podcast?" And I said, "Well, I've always been against gun violence. I protested against it. I don't shoot guns. I don't like guns. I'm a pacifist. Yeah. I'm an anti-violent guy. So that would be like if I got into a car accident and I got killed by a drunk driver, and it's like, oh wow, that's such a shame. But it would be more of a shame than if I was the drunk driver, because then, like as it currently is, I don't drink, I barely drive, so I'm not in a position where it's like I'm putting myself in this situation where I could have violence done upon me. However,
You didn't never advocate for drunk driving.
It's like if I was standing like a freak on a soapbox at like university saying like everybody should drunk drive, and then I got hit by a drunk driver, and people would be like, "Oh, that's so sad." It wouldn't be sad. It would be what I have coming to me. Again, this is a hypothetical situation, which is not like anything that happened in real life because this is not a political podcast. This is a comics podcast where we don't talk about comics. But if we were to talk about comics, we would say something like, "Oh, it's really fucked up how some companies are firing people based on things that they have to say about politics, even though this is not a political podcast and we don't talk about comics or anything like that. We don't talk about any of that stuff. That's just hypothetical if we were to talk about this stuff, but we don't. So we won't. Anyways, during his show on Monday night, Kimmel, in his opening monologue, said, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who did a thing that we don't talk about on the show as anything other than one of them and is doing everything they can to score political points from it." Then he shifted his attention to Donald Trump's reaction to the thing we don't talk about. A source for The Hollywood Reporter said that Kimmel had no plans to apologize, feeling that his comments did not require an apology, but that he did plan to address the backlash on Wednesday night's show. He allegedly planned to explain that what he'd said and demonstrated was and how it was being taken out of context, which it was, by the way, because all he did was show a video of Trump. They asked him about this event that we don't talk about on the show, a political podcast, and Trump goes, "Oh, did you see the ballroom we're building?" Like he could give a fuck less, you know?
Yeah, he didn't care.
Which is like Trump the next day was at like the Yankee game, like fucking clapping like a goof.
Yeah, doing his little thing.
He
has no clue what's going on, man. That guy's brain is so fucking glopped out of his head.
Completely fucking melted.
Yeah, completely. There were those weird photos over the weekend, I guess it was over the weekend, with like Melania was like dressed like a fucking character from The Ring next to him.
Yeah.
That was so fucking weird. And then like him eating that spaghetti. It's like, what the?
He was truly housing the spaghetti. And then there was the other one where he just looked like zoned out, like a.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is. Like, I wish that BetUS would let us bet on like how long his body is going to stay in human form. Because I know currently, technically, he's alive. He's a living human being. Technically, resembles the shape of a human being. Are you lighting one up for Jimmy Kimmel?
Famous stoner. Famous stoner.
That's what's up. Big shout out to weed.
Shout out to weed.
I don't do drugs myself, but if I were to do one drug, it would be weed. If any weed sponsors want to hit us up, I'm willing to listen to offers for weed, gambling, alcohol, drunk driving. I could get on board. I know I said I was against it earlier. I could really find myself on board. You know, my only vice is matcha, and I like to drink Trader Joe's powdered matcha. Not an ad, but Trader Joe's. If you want a matcha guy, hit me up, dude. You need somebody to push the shit. I'm ready. I'm the best salesman you've ever seen. But yeah, the Kimmel thing actually had me really anxious today. Like, because it's like they're not just going after Kimmel, they're going after like all kinds of like left-wing voices, and it's like, you know, the pretense on it is so flimsy of like why they're upset. And it's also like this weird hypocritical thing where like for years, it's like you're a bitch, you're a cuck, you're beta if you make any kind of off-color joke, right? And then these jokes are not even off color that people are making about the situation that we don't talk about. And they're like Republicans and conservatives have been so like fucking horny over the idea of being in a position where they can get other people fired for saying stupid shit that they're like getting them fired for shit that's not even stupid. Like it's a different thing if like you're being racist and it's like, oh, I got fired because I said like the N-word or whatever. Like that's so fucked up. It's like, well, the company that you work for is selling stuff to black people as well. So, like, that's why you're getting fired. Or, like, if you say, like, a gay slur, it's not because, like, everybody just loves gay people, although we do, obviously. We're allies. Tony more so than me, frankly, just based on what the community has said. We asked members of the community, they said, Tony's more of an ally than me. Yeah.
I get the trophy this year.
it's not that I am not woke, it's that I'm not as woke as Tony, right? But anyways, the point is,
They call me Woke Tony.
yeah, exactly. And I'm just trying to like not even really keep up. I'm just trying to like, do my bit, But it's crazy though that like when all of this time they've been like all these motherfuckers. This is not like a hot take or anything. Like all these people who've been like free speech advocates, they cut in a situation where like the government, not like corporations or like not like people who work at like a grocery store or whatever, like not just like normal people who have no power over you, but when the US government is using levers of power to limit free speech, they're like, this is great. Because it's never been about free speech for them. It's always been about this weird culture war shit. And, like I was, over
Well,
the
it's like
weekend.
it's really like because they don't recognize the difference between censorship and like getting canceled. Because censorship is strictly government implemented. So if the government plays a part in restricting your speech, that's censorship. If like a company decides to fire you because you said something they don't like, and because they're getting backlash, that's just the market. That's the free market under capitalism that we are living under. So, like, what's the
But
problem?
like the crazy thing to me is like it's not even like they like you're right about that, but like it's not even like they get anything out of Jimmy Kimmel getting fired or like getting his show preempted for a while or whatever. Like they don't really get anything out of it. It's just like like in their mind, like, okay, you got Roseanne canceled. Well, Roseanne fucking was saying the craziest shit ever. You know what I mean? She's a full blown conspiracy theorist, but that's just how far the right has moved. Of like,
Yeah.
no, that's normal conversation. What Jimmy Kimmel said was also normal conversation. It was much more normal conversation, but he should be punished because she was punished for being fucking crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's like a complete disconnect of like what this stuff actually means.
It's just, I think Hassan said something that I found hilarious. He said, I think it was Hassan. He said basically like that the government is run by people who are like chronically online, but in the worst possible way. They're
Right.
not like, because they're still kind of dumb to a lot of the stuff like that they're
Right.
reading, except for like some of the people like Stephen Miller and all that. They know what the troll farms are, all the little the little online organizing they do and shit like that. But like a lot of the general MAGA base, and then like some of the lower level Republicans, like the representatives and shit.
Speaking of Stephen Miller, oh, go ahead.
Well, and it's like those lower level
Go ahead.
representatives,
Sorry.
like our guy here, like Tim Sheehy. I'm sure he's online all day looking at Facebook reading this shit, because he's just a dense idiot.
Right. I was going to say, speaking of Stephen Miller, because since you brought him up, there was a story that I wanted to read to you. Was that?
I was wondering if we had a delay again. Feels like we might have a delay.
Oh no, I think we can.
Yeah, Stephen Miller, man, that guy's the demon.
Oh no.
Bro, you mentioned his name, he fucking cut off our show. Look, fucked up your internet.
I know. This is why we don't bring up politics.
Yeah.
This specific reason. How bad is the lag? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So speaking of Stephen Miller, which again we shouldn't even be talking about because he just throttled our show. But the White House would like the public to know that Stephen Miller does not play with dolls.
Why would you even have to say that?
I know, it's very strange. Miller, who has some of President Trump's most controversial policies from his perch as deputy chief of staff for policy, was the focus of an unflattering Rolling Stone profile on Sunday. Inside the West Wing, the hot-tempered advisor is apparently a fixture of backroom chatter, with Trump officials and Republicans close to the president paranoid that Miller will, quote, one day hear them gossiping about him behind his back. Among the longest-running digs dating back to his time working for then-Republican Senator Jeff Sessions during the Obama years, Republican staffers on Capitol Hill used to whisper that Miller, quote, liked to play with porcelain dolls. Rolling Stone's report on the rumors of Miller's doll play prompted an official White House denial. A White House official insists that any such characterization of his time on the Hill is, quote, inaccurate and baseless gossip, the Rolling Stone wrote. The outlet noted that the conservative staffers who spread malicious rumors about Miller, quote, never dreamed that he'd ever amount to much more than a punchline or an obscure cautionary tale of what happens when you read too many far-right hate websites and dive into Washington's most feverish swamps. Sort of like what you're talking about, right? Like, this guy was so online that all the quote-unquote normal conservatives, like the people who are like generally evil, they were like, this guy is too fucked up. Like, he plays with dolls. And they're like, now he's like the second most powerful guy in the country, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That's so fun. What a creep. That guy's...
Even today, Miller, 40, reportedly remains a target of nicknames among those in Trump world, mocking his high-strung demeanor and domineering presence in the White House. Rolling Stones listed favorites like Shadow Secretary of Defense, Prime Minister Miller, the real Attorney General, the Department of Homeland Security boss, and President Miller. MAGA Republicans speak of the president's policy architect, who has a history of expressing extremist views with a unique mix of admiration and unease, according to Rolling Stone. I would speak like that about Nosferatu as well. Like, I wouldn't speak any other way about Nosferatu. This is crazy, dude. You know how weird it must be to go to work every day and act like that guy's normal? Like, I know you're not normal because you're in that world, but even by the standards of like the MAGA base or like the MAGA like White House, like, he is particularly vile and cretinous. He looks like he eats rats. You know what I mean? Like, he's super fucked. And you have to go in every work and be like, yeah, man, you watched the game last night? And he'd be like, what game? Like, his ass was playing with dolls. He was playing with dolls while I was watching Bills Dolphins. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe I should have been too, considering how that game went.
Yeah.
Maybe Stephen Miller, the doll man, had the right idea. Even, by the way, dolls are not action figures is so fucked up. Like, if you play with action figures, like, I kind of get it. Like, action figures are kind of sick. Yeah. I famously have a Optimus Primal action figure that was gifted to me by Sophie Campbell from Supergirl fame. You know, his head lights up. It's very badass, very sick. Yeah. So, like, if someone was like, "Oh, Ramon plays with an action figure," I'd say, "Well, yeah, because he's badass." But a doll, a porcelain doll, no. I like, obviously not. That's crazy. I would never do that because I'm a grown-up. Even Trump himself has insulted Miller behind his back, Rolling Stone reported. Oh, wait, hold on. One intense motherfucker, a longtime advisor, told the outlet, which noted that attempts by Miller's friends to make him sound gentler, kinder, or funnier have fallen flat. Even Trump himself
has a tough sell, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what, though? If, like, you told people now, oh, Ramon is, like, much gentler, kinder, and funnier now that he's dating someone, people would be like, I don't believe you. They're like, no, he's a normie now. They'd be like, no way, he's a freak. You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, you're never as ghoulish as Stephen Miller.
No, never that ghoulish, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I could understand why people would be dismissive of the idea. I was never that ghoulish, but you know, I had my faults back when I was not normal. Obviously now I am normal, so I don't have those faults anymore, but back when I wasn't, yeah, I had some problems. Anyways, Trump's biographer Michael Wolff previously said on the Daily Beast podcast that the president has a less than flattering nickname for one of his most loyal henchmen. Quote, Weird Steven. Bro, that's a crazy nickname. That's not even a nickname. That's just calling the motherfucker weird.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's like when I was a kid, like it's a nickname for a lot of Mexican like kids. But like, you know, grandmothers call them like gordo, like, you know, oh, fat. You know? It's like, okay, I was chubby and I grew up to be fat. So it all works out. You know, no harm, no foul. But it's still a little mean. And that's basically what Trump is doing to Weird Steven.
Yeah.
Like, he's not wrong. It's just a little fucked up if that's your guy. If he's so weird, why are you letting him tell you how to treat Mexicans and shit? Like, that's crazy.
He probably got calls of that in front of everybody too. Okay, weird Steven. It's just like, all right.
All right, weird Steven, enough of you. Please go away.
Fine, round them all up, weird Steven. I don't care.
Take your dolls and please leave the Oval Office. By the way, Trader Joe's, I'm also, I don't drink it often, but I know if I need extra water, mountain spring water, I'm here, I'm available for ads. I can tell people this is the best water I've ever drank. Obviously it's not, it's mid, but it's very cheap.
Was that ever confirmed, that whole Elon Musk and his wife deal?
Elon smashing Stephen Miller's wife?
Yeah, was that for real?
It was on this podcast. I think we broke that story, and it was obviously done with super real and incredulous reporting by us. Still, Miller shapes much of Trump's contentious agenda, pressuring immigration agencies to ramp up deportations and touting the deployment of military in D.C. in his hometown of L.A., while making alarmist claims about law and order. When reached for comment, the White House official referred to the Daily Beast to a list of testimonials provided to Rolling Stone. So they're basically like, oh, we like Stephen Miller. No, everybody hates Stephen Miller. Even Trump hates Stephen Miller.
His own wife even hates him.
His own wife is banging out Elon Musk over this guy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways,
well, no, they're both equal.
That's what's going on with these MAGA freaks, is they're playing with dolls and they're not letting people speak their, like, could you imagine the content we could have got from a Jimmy Kimmel monologue about Stephen Miller playing with dolls? It would have been fucking hilarious.
I wonder what Guillermo's doing.
Dude, if I'm Guillermo...
Is everyone checking in on Guillermo? Make sure he's okay?
I know Jimmy is, because Jimmy's such a good guy.
Yeah, these guys are. That's the thing too. Is like Jimmy's so rich that he could do whatever the fuck he wants now. So like, yeah, he could do.
I can't imagine Jimmy's been living like the craziest life. He's not like Jay Leno buying stupid shit all the time. Like, yeah. I bet Kimmel with his millions has just been like saving, doing normal shit. Yeah.
Probably and real estate.
Yeah, I bet he's hella rich. I bet he's just like chilling and like, oh, well, they're gonna cancel my show. Well, it's like, well, that sucks because like the show is one of the funniest shows of all time.
Yeah, and all the people who work on the show, who need the job.
All the people who work on the show, right? But like, I bet for him, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'll just go be rich somewhere then. All right, whatever. Well, I think what Kimmel should do, by the way, is everybody's talking about, oh, Jon Stewart should run for office. No. You get the king of late night up on that bitch. You get President Kimmel up on that bitch. Tell me we ain't having a better country with President Kimmel, dude. Right now, I'm calling for Jimmy Kimmel, the king of late night. Run for president. Run, Jimmy, run.
You have my vote.
Yep. It will be the best president named Jimmy of all time. Carter, you're out. You're done. He died, right? By the way, right?
R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah, big R.I.P. But Kimmel is still alive, and I bet he would handle every situation. I bet he would handle Iran better than Jimmy Kimmel did. He was a flop.
Jimmy Carter, you mean?
That's what did I say?
He said better than Jimmy Kimmel did.
No, oh yeah, I meant Jimmy Carter. I see. This is how irrelevant Carter is. I'm already forgetting his name, and I'm putting Kimmel in there. I think that would be money. I think Kimmel.
Yeah, Kimmel.
I think if Kimmel runs against JD Vance, Kimmel wins in a landslide. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have
he's rich.
The vice president could be Tim Walz again.
No, it could be Guillermo.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's it. It's right in front of me the whole time.
Imagine how fucking lit that would be when you have like the presidential address and you got Guillermo back there chilling, just making funny faces.
Oh man,
that would be so sick.
The numbers, and the ratings would be through the roof.
If Kimmel was president, he could like finally lock up Jay Leno for his crimes against humanity and comedy. That was, by the way, like, I like Kimmel. because of how much he hated Jay Leno. And I wasn't even like the biggest like Leno hater. I just loved that he hated that guy so much that he would just pop up places. Like the craziest place he would pop up. I remember in high school when the Michael Jackson trial was going on, they on like Court TV, they would have like a live reenactment, like, or not live, but like they would do everyday reenactments of what had happened that day in court. And when Jay Leno went up to testify on behalf of Michael, they had Jimmy Kimmel dressed up like Jay Leno, stunt cast to be, and like there wasn't like, this was the thing with like lots of other celebrities. There were no other celebrities on this thing. It was like a bunch of random ass actors from like, you know, Lifetime movies and shit, and then Jimmy Kimmel. It was so crazy. But I was like, that man truly hates Jay Leno to like just get some clout on this about how he's there, you know? Like that was so funny to me. So like, you know, shout out Jay Leno. Or not Jimmy Kimmel. Wow. You know, fuck you to Jay Leno. It's hard to keep straight all these J names. Speaking of censorship, do you hear the story about broadcasters have been told to not air booing of Donald Trump at the U.S. the U.S. Open men's final?
No.
So this was like a couple weeks ago, and so I don't know how it played out. But apparently, U.S. Open broadcasters have been asked to not show any negative crowd reactions to Trump at the Sunday men's final. The president is expected to attend the match between Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz in New York, with security at Flushing Meadows being heightened in preparation. Trump used to be a regular visitor of the U.S. Open, but has not been in the tournament since 2015, a year before he was elected president for the first time, when he was booed by the spectators. An email sent to the broadcasters by organizers reveals that the 79-year-old will be shown on screen during the singing of the national anthem ahead of the match. Message asks, we ask all broadcasters to refrain from showing any disruptions or reactions in response to the president's attendance. Well, I can only understand it's like, first of all, who at tennis is going to fuck with Trump? Like, it's like the most sort of like PBS sport you could get, right?
Yeah.
Like golfing, I kind of see it, right? Because it's all like old rich white guys and shit. But tennis, like who watches tennis?
There might be some Europeans in there who want to like let him have it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like anybody who goes to a tennis match is going to boo this fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
Europeans, sort of the people who watch challengers, right? If you're a film guy and you just were like, you know what, that's fun, I'm going to go watch tennis now because that movie is so good. Speaking of which, by the way, Trent Reznor new album out now for the Tron soundtrack. I just thought of it because he did the Challengers one. What's the review, Tony?
I give it 8.5 out of 10.
8.5.
Pretty good.
Best track standout.
I think 100% Expendable was a good one. I think, and there was another one. I forgot the name of it. It's the second track, and it's Trent singing on it because like a lot of it is instrumentals. So
yeah,
there's only a couple songs where he's singing.
I feel like with Nine Inch Nails though, like they used to have instrumental songs on it, right? Like even if it wasn't a soundtrack. Like I only listened to like a couple albums when I was getting into them, and you and Sophie told me like which ones to put on. And I remember being like, oh, this is cool. It's a vibe. I'm walking, you know. I wasn't like in love with it, but I wasn't like anti Nine Inch Nails by any means. So I'll probably check this out. What was what's the vibe like? What's the
it's like kind of like very synthy, very like Tangerine Dream type because it's like for Tron. So it's got that whole Tron thing going on. So
that's kind of
there's some songs that kind of break out of that style a little bit. But then a lot of the especially instrumental stuff is very synth based and very like kind of that era. Pretty cool.
I'm like I want to listen to it now. Maybe when I go on my walk I'll throw it on. You know, I'm still on the Deftones album, which I was like, oh, it was pretty good, and now I'm like, oh, it might be better than I gave it credit for even. But it's interesting that like some of these old bands, like right now Deftones is just like they're battling with themselves for the #1 spot on like the rock chart or whatever. But I think it's cool how some of these old bands, like from when we were younger, they're still putting out like sick music, and then meanwhile, like, you know, new bands don't put out anything good at all because the new bands suck, you know, compared to the shit we like when we were younger, which was real and legitimate, and new stuff is not real because the young people are fucking useless.
You're already out of touch. Look at you. You've been
No.
normie for like 3 weeks, and now you're out of touch.
I'm sorry, what's normie
out
about
of touch with
liking
the youth.
Deftones, the #1 band in America? Is it that I'm more normie now, or is that the world has finally caught up to me and where I was in my old positions? Think about it. Just throwing it out
Well,
there. Am
I guess if you look
normie,
at the way
or
the
has
state of
the
the world
whole
is,
world gone insane?
yeah, I guess you could say the world's gone your way.
You know what I'm
A little
saying?
muddier. Yeah, a little. We're out of
Just
control.
throwing it out there. Could be the case. The message. Oh wait, I already read that. Trump's visit threatens to take some of the spotlight away from Alcaraz and Sinner, who are meeting in a third successful Grand Slam final. No, I don't think it did. I mean, it probably, if
I
anything, would have
haven't
gave them
watched
a little
tennis.
clout.
When's the last time you actually watched tennis?
Oh, it's got to be when my guy, what's his name?
Federer? Agassi?
No, I was a Joker guy.
Joker.
But like, I was watching it. And like, I would get annoyed because they would be like, "Oh, take a break. I need to get worked on. I need somebody to massage me in the middle of the match." I'm like, "What are you doing? I'm waiting 30 minutes extra for this guy to get his leg rubbed down."
You got cramps, man.
Yeah, but like, that's part of the game. Like, you can't like, yeah, you're gonna.
Well, it's not like football. It's not like football where you can sub in another guy. You know, you kind of only have one dude. So
no, but like in boxing, you can't like Canelo can be like, "Oh, I got hurt. Bring like pause," and then like they fix him up. And like, all right, let's go.
I guess the difference is the object of that sport is to punish somebody into losing. You know, like either knocking them out or beating them in points or making them quit. And this is just like you're hitting a little ball. So it's like,
what if like a long distance runner was like, pause. I need to get my breath.
Pause, everybody. Do they do that? Do they do that in NASCAR when they have to do the thing? They do like a break and then a pit stop, and then they make everyone kind of stop where they're at and not like pass each other and just do that for a couple laps, and then they resume the race.
But the thing is, I don't watch that either because I think that's lame. I think if your tires are fucked, then you lose. Get better tires, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I think or the race is too long at that point. You know what I mean? If your tires can't last for the whole race, the race is too long. You know what I'm saying?
You get one set of tires. If you blow one of them, maybe you get one spare, but it's also got to be like a spare, you know?
It has to be on the car. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get out and change it there. And someone can come out and meet you and help you change it, but like you can't bring it into pit and no one's going to stop for you.
There's no pit. There's no guys with the No. You go out there and you have the fucking the wrenches and the fucking, tire irons and the fucking jacks, and that's part of the race. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, maybe the driver has to pull over and help you because they see you're not doing it right. It's like, oh,
yeah. Did I talk about how that happened on the show?
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay. Anyways, the tennis is kind of bullshit because of that. I think it's kind of lame. I don't think it's that cool because it's like, wait a minute. I don't want to watch you resting to finish this match. Just finish it, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know in boxing they do have like rounds, you know what I mean? They have like, they'll go to in between rounds, they go to their bench and they sit down and they do get iced up and they do get, healed up a second. Like if at the end of a tennis set, you go, oh, fuck my leg. Yeah, bring out somebody, massage that leg, But like, you can't pause the thing. You can't call a timeout. I'm out on that. I'm out on tennis for that reason specifically. The fact that Trump goes to watch that makes me think less of him.
It's it's funny that he just still wants to do all the fucking famous person shit he used to do. Yeah.
Well, now he's doing it because now he knows if anybody boos him, then they're going to get like thrown into a gulag, Like for a while he was like, let me keep it low because I know everybody fucking hates me. So I'm just going to like chill out,
Right, he's still going to get booed. People are going to boo him.
Right. But now he's like, okay, but don't show it on TV that I'm getting booed. It's like, well, don't get booed. Don't be a dickhead. Maybe people won't boo you. It's weird. Like
Even
that's the thing with conservatives.
Once he got booed at the WWE event, you know it was over.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's the thing about conservatives though. It's like people they get mad, like, oh, I'm gonna get canceled, I'm gonna get booed, I'm gonna get people are gonna dislike me. Okay, well, don't be a dickhead, and then people will be totally chill with you. You know what I mean? Like when people don't like me, I'm not like, oh, there's something wrong with those people. It's often maybe I did something to antagonize them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's called growing up, holding yourself accountable. You know what I mean? Not every time. Obviously, sometimes people like me for invalid reasons, but a lot of people just like me for very valid reasons, and I just have to accept that, you know? But conservatives are like, it's only everybody else's fault.
Yeah, you get, as you go through life, there's just some people you're not gonna get along with, and they're not gonna like you, no matter what.
It. You know,
you can try to be the nicest person in the world, and something happens. And sometimes you meet people with someone, and you're their friend, but like, oh, this is gonna go off the rails. I can tell already, and they're not gonna like me. But I'll ride this friendship out.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the desire to need to be liked by everyone is weird. Never really got that.
Speaking of like the tennis thing and like how they can just get massaged and like leave in the middle of it. Like there's no other profession where you can even do that, right? Like imagine if a doctor was supposed to have a surgery on somebody. Maybe they had to lop off somebody's toe, okay? And they're like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Let me go do something to relax. Like they would obviously be in huge trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm doing that guy of the week for a doctor who walked out of an operation to have sex with a nurse.
That guy.
A doctor left a patient on an operating table under anesthetic to go and have sex with a nurse in another room, a medical tribunal has heard. Dr. Suhail Anjum, 44, and the unnamed nurse were caught in a compromising position by a shocked colleague at Tameside Hospital in Greater Manchester. This is in England, by the way. Jolly old. Shout out to England. Oh, you sound like you're from London. The incident in September 2023 came to light in a fitness to practice hearing after Dr. Anjum, who'd been living in Pakistan, applied to work in the UK again. He did not dispute the evidence against him presented by the General Medical Council during the hearing in Manchester and said that his behavior had been, quote, shameful. Speaking of, my Man United performance has been absolutely shameful lately, by the way, too. I don't want to talk about it too much, but obviously the words in this story made me think about it. The consultant I did not know how to pronounce this word. Anesthetist? The person who does the anesthesia.
Anesthesiologist?
There you go. But that's not what it says here. Anyways, it had said that he needed a, quote, comfort break and asked a nursing colleague to monitor the male patient halfway through the procedure. Halfway through is crazy, by the way. Imagine you're so horny that while you're doing a surgery, you're like,
let's bang this out real quick. I'll be able to focus. Nut, I can't focus with this nut.
I got this nut and I got this nurse over here. She's looking good. Hey, do me a solid. Let's just bang one out, and then I'll fix whatever's wrong with this guy over here.
Don't you want him to live?
It's like, I want me to live. Oh, I see. So that's what the doctor was saying to the nurse.
Yeah.
I thought that's what the general counsel was saying to him. He's like, dude, look, I had to nut so bad. You don't understand what I was going through.
I mean, if I was a patient and he needed to get it off, I'm like, let him do his thing because I need my doctor to be clear and like.
That's the thing is like, if I woke up and they're like, oh, you won't believe what happened. The doctor stepped away to have sex in the middle of the thing. It's like, well, I think the headline here is that I woke up. You know what I mean? I think the headline is that he did a great job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm taking my car in to get, fixed, I don't care if the mechanic goes and has sex in the middle of it. None of my business,
Yeah, what do I care? It's nothing adults.
If I'm doing a drawing and so, I want to go do something in the middle of that, none of their business what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So if I'm on the operating table, I get it. I'm in a compromised position, but like, let him cook. Clearly he thinks better when he's got his shit off. Instead, Dr. Anjum went to another operating theater. Oh, he did it in the theater? Oh, that's crazy. That's a crazy place to do it.
He's
At the
brazen. Yeah,
hospital.
this guy's wild.
Where he had
You
sex.
know,
That's like the place that I said where he took Chloe, or the where they took Chloe, where they were like, imagine he walked in there to have sex with this nurse, and Chloe's in there with her fucked up toe out. Like, oh, let's go to another room. There's something fucked up happening in this one. He went to an operating theater at the hospital in Ashton-under-Lyne where he had sex with a woman referred to in the hearing as Nurse C. Andrew Malloy, representing the GMC, said the nurse who walked in on the pair had been shocked and quickly walked through the theater to the exit doors. So wait, they were having sex. She sees them and has to walk across the whole theater to leave? That's crazy. Dr. Malloy added, it is right to say that no harm to the patient when Dr. Anjum was absent from the theater and the procedure went on without further incident. He said that the nurse who discovered them went on to report the matter to her line manager. Before the case was opened by GMC, Dr. Anjum said that he did not dispute the facts of the case and had admitted to engaging in sexual activity with Nurse C. He said that he knew he was, quote, that she was, quote, likely to be nearby when he left his patient. He also admitted that his actions had the potential to put his patient at risk. Dr. Anjum told the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service that he wanted to resume his career in the UK and promised there would never be a repeat of a one-off error of judgment. Do you believe that, by the way?
No, he'll do it again.
Yeah, of course he's going to do it again. Why? He already got off.
Yeah.
Multiple times, apparently. Sort of a Jimmy Kimmel kind of joke, you know? Giving evidence, giving evidence, Dr. Anjum said, it was quite shameful, to say the least. I have only myself to blame. He said that he had let his colleagues in the NHS trust down. He added, I offer my sincere apologies to everyone involved, and I want the opportunity to put this right. The doctor added the incident happened, quote, after a stressful time for his family, when he and his wife were failing to connect as a couple.
Oh,
that's nasty. Not only did he do it with a nurse, he cheated on his wife to do that with a nurse.
Okay,
you know what?
Listen, never mind.
Old me would have said, who cares? New me? I have to say that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
I'm revoking that guy of the week from this doctor. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can't do that to your wife. You're breaking a vow of trust and honesty. Mm-hmm. That's horrible. I condemn him and I reject him. The doctor added the incident happened after a stressful time. They were, quote, failing to connect as a couple following the premature birth of his daughter. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, man. This guy really was like a cool guy, and then he became like not cool.
You should have done your research on this guy, to be honest.
Well, you know me, I like to go into these. I don't like to pre-read them. I like to come in fresh so we can learn about it together. Speaking of not pre-reading, though, that brings us to the NFL segment of this show, where we're going to talk about Tony's tiers, which he's graciously put together and sent to me, and I did not look at them. I sort of just kind of go vision blind. You know what I mean? I just pretend like I don't see shit. The only thing I did see was where the Niners placed, because like my eyes focus on that kind of thing. But other than that, I did not pay attention. I did not look. So here we go. So here are your tiers. At the top, the best of the best. Wait, you want to go from the bottom to top or top to bottom, and you can explain?
Yeah, wherever you want to.
We'll start at the top, and then we'll go, oh my God, I just saw what was at the bottom. I was like, wait, this thing goes deeper. Okay. So at the very top, you have the best of the best. Explain why these two are the best of the best. Are these just the best in the conferences?
Yeah, these are my two favorites for the Super Bowl. I think these two teams are the odds-on favorites. They look like the best teams, and they have history of being good.
I have real questions. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, the Bills like haven't gotten over the Kansas City hump yet, but I feel like this is their year, and I feel like this year they're going to get through the playoffs easier than previous years if they stay healthy. Because they've been playing together for a long time. Josh Allen looks like he's like uber elite right now. They run the ball well. They play in a weak division, and it's going to be a pretty easy season for them. So,
I don't like either of their defenses, though.
Yeah, I think I think that can be a problem in the game, but like in a week-to-week scenario, and by the end of the year with attrition and injuries and stuff, they like a lot of that
I'll say
stuff gets
this.
figured out.
I'll say this. I think Barkley is a bit of a ticking time bomb because he's running it more because Jalen Hurts is not throwing it as much as he used to, and you're putting more on that guy. Like their wide receivers don't look good, and so I feel like might just be baseless speculation based on absolutely nothing. But I would not have the Eagles that high because I worry about the Eagles long term if their offense is so one dimensional and that one dimension is a running back.
Sure. No, and but these are like this is week 2, right? So right now this is
makes sense for your tiers right now, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
This is just me projecting into the future.
Sure. I don't even know who their backup running back is. So like, if Barkley gets hurt or something, they're fucked. Because that Hurts isn't like still can't be counted on to like carry an offense with his arm. So
no, and they're trying to ban the tush push because they ran it like 30 times, which is crazy as hell.
The thing is, like, the NFL is still like, even those two teams, like, no team is perfect. There's always like all these teams have flaws, even the good ones. So it's like they to me seem like and they're the champs. They haven't lost yet. So
like, contenders.
Won the Super Bowl. Yeah, the contenders. Those are the teams where it's like if one of those teams falters or they get into the playoffs versus them, like I could see one of those teams sneaking by them and get into Super Bowl.
Can I ask you how you have 2 teams this high? Because 2 of them I understand. I understand Green Bay, even though I don't fully buy Jordan Love, but their defense is so dynamic with the addition of Micah Parsons. King of the Hill cameo star Micah Parsons.
Some people said he wouldn't have an impact in Green Bay, and others said he would.
Well, we'll see what happens. Sometimes I'm proven right in the long run. But right now they look good because they're playing garbage teams. And I understand Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. I'm not fully in on the Chargers because they played a washed Mahomes, and I forgot who they played last week. Somebody
was that night? Wasn't it night Raiders? Was it Raiders?
No, I don't think they played 2 divisional games back to back. I just don't. The team wasn't bad. It just wasn't like,
I think it was the Raiders. It was on the.
Really? I think you might be right. Oh yeah, it was because it was Pete Carroll and it was Harbaugh. That's crazy. They had 2 divisional games back to back. Actually,
they got the Broncos this week, so they got 3.
So 3?
Yeah, all 3 of them.
That's a tough opening, but you know what? Now that I know those were all divisional games, I'm more bullish on the Chargers. Like, not because it's the Raiders, but because I think that it's always tough to play in your division like that.
Yeah. They look strong, I was just saying, like, I don't, I've always been a Herbert hater, so.
Yeah, you have. And that might be partially because of personal sort of jealousies and bitterments, but I get it.
We'll get to that later, but.
He definitely and the Lions, great. I'm sort of like a little out on the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions is more on like reputation and what they did like the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and like I guess you could put them down at the tier below, but like I would even like. I mean, they could. I think like they could be contenders. Like I could see them in the Super Bowl, but I could also see them finishing like 7-10 because like something happens. So it's kind of like I'm not confident in that positioning. It's like
so 1 or 2 players away. I see you have my Niners, which I feel like they're more than 1 or 2 players away.
Well, and that's because those 1 or 2 players are like George Kittle and Brock Purdy.
Sure.
Because if you have those guys and they're playing, they're healthy, and the rest of the team is healthy, I feel it.
CMC is missing in action. I haven't seen him lately. I haven't seen Brandon Piyuk, not Ayuk, because he makes me want to Piyuk. I haven't seen the only guy that I've seen that's a true dog. Well, there's 2: Fred Warner and my boy Ricky. Slick Rick.
What about your boy Mag and Nick?
No, I'm not seeing that for him. He's not. He'll get one play a game, and then I'm supposed to glaze. I'm supposed to go crazy. Do it all game. Give me more than one sack a game. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But he's been better. The whole defense has been better. This is my Niners sort of round. The whole defense has been better, which I think is because we finally got a real defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh, Free Palestine. Not a political podcast, but the man is Palestinian, and he is all about that. And I'm a little bit sort of like I have not seen Kyle be like an offensive guru this year, and sometimes it's like the league catches up to your little shenanigans, and if you don't, and you know this better than anyone, if you don't keep coming up with new shenanigans, you're washed, you're played out, you're predictable, and they'll just pick you off whenever they want. Okay.
Yeah, especially when you have little weak quarterbacks.
I am not saying that about myself. Mac Jones is very tall.
Man, if Mac comes out this week and you guys light up Arizona, there might be a controversy brewing.
Nah, I'm just saying. It wouldn't be controversy.
Okay.
But I don't know. There's just too many players missing for the Niners for me to take them anything more seriously. I consider them charlatans, but I've been telling you that every single day for the last year. I've been calling the Niners charlatans. So this is not new news that I'm down on my Niners. As they're undefeated, by the way. So then the Rams, okay, makes sense. They're pretty good. I think they are probably 1 or 2 players away. Bucks are pretty good. Kansas City's pretty good. Kansas City, though, to have an 0-2 team that high, it's clearly on reputation, but they don't have no wide receivers, so I get why they're 1 or 2
no
players
wide receivers. Away. And then like they've had two, they've played 2 good teams, so it's not like they played the weaker teams. I think like by the end of the year they'll probably have like 11 wins or something.
Yeah. I think it's been humbling, and I think when they got my Giants going in there, showing them what's what, could be interesting.
But yeah, those 2 players would be wide receivers. Like if they could get 2 wide receivers, like if we traded them Tyreek Hill for like 2 number 1s or something.
Well, they had Xavier Worthy and washed Kelsey, steamrolled him, flattened him like a pancake.
The one guy's in jail.
One guy's in jail because he did like a hit and run and like he took off.
Yeah.
So and then all those players were wearing like free 4 or whatever, like the guy's number, and it's like, dude, he nearly killed like a bunch of people.
Yeah. What are we doing?
He's not like being persecuted unfairly. He's actually getting off pretty light. He should be in jail right now.
Did you see the video of that?
No.
Yeah, he's driving. Yeah, he's driving crazy, and then this car crash, and him and his buddies just all run down the highway. It's like right under an overpass in like a downtown area. They're just like running down the side of the road. It's like, where are you going? Like,
I think Bengals are now more than 1 or 2 players away, by the way.
Well, I think that one player is Joe Burrow,
Yeah. So I would put him now. I'm just happy to be here. Or what are we even doing? Because what are we even doing? Because how does they not have an offensive line for that guy at this point?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's
also made of glass, He's made of glass.
He likes to stay in the pocket. He doesn't
some people are calling him Glass
10-yard bursters. Yeah, some people are calling him Glass Joe. He doesn't have the 10-yard bursters. He has no escapability. He is a soft guy. He's a pretty boy, and he got fucked up. So it is what it is. Now we got charlatans. We got the Colts, Vikings, Broncos, Texans, Cards, and Pats. Yeah. I wouldn't even put Pats lower. I'm surprised, but what are they like? They're having a good season so far, or what?
Well, they're 1-1. They beat us, and now all the Northeast media is just talking about how they're back and shit. So it's like,
right.
So that's kind of a commentary on the Boston sports media.
I feel like you're being disrespectful to my guy Danny Dimes, putting him into the charlatan category. But okay.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't believe in it though. I think it's all.
I've been a long supporter of Danny Dimes, so I get it. I get the hesitance from you, but I also get the special qualities that I see in him. That maybe now that he's not a New York Giant, he's going to be performing like this regularly.
Wouldn't be the first time that's happened. So I just don't believe in him. I saw what he did to my Dolphins. My Dolphins are just abysmal. So it's like, he didn't impress me.
Yeah, you saw firsthand how much he was cooking. So I'm surprised you're completely out on him. just happy to be here. You got Steelers, Raiders, Falcons, Seahawks, and the Titans. That all makes sense to me. I think the Seahawks are like they have a good defense though, right? Like you just don't trust the offense.
Yeah, yeah, they're just happy to like be in games and to like finish around 500 and like the Titans are just happy because Cam Ward is out there and they get to watch him throw and they're like, that's fun, you know.
I would say Steelers are just happy to be here for now. Just give it a month and we'll see how happy they are.
Yeah, yeah, with them too, because they're always content to like just sneak into the playoffs anyway and not really do anything. So it's like they are the epitome of, oh, we're just happy to hang out and see what happens. Yeah, what are we doing here?
There's a combustible element there that will make them very unhappy, though. Like
he's
already, he's already like, you see Aaron Rodgers already calling out that like wide receiver. He's like talking shit.
No, I haven't seen.
I can't remember that. It was like a dude who's
Metcalf?
like 26 years old. It's not like I can't remember. What's that?
It's not Metcalf.
Which guy?
DJ Metcalf.
No, not DJ Metcalf. It wasn't like he's not that old, but it was like a younger guy, and he was going like, "Oh, he's a good kid. He's a good kid." Like he ran the wrong route. He like fucked up the play. We would have won the game if he would have ran the right route. But he's a good kid, but he fucked up. You know, he can't help himself. He had to throw the kid under the bus, and it's like again, it's not like a rookie, like a 26-year-old guy, like a guy who's been on the team way longer than he has.
Yeah,
can't remember the
guy's diplomatic. Name, just like, hey, you know what? We win as a team, we lose as a team, and you know we all make mistakes. And do all that shit. Like, why you gotta? It's weird because like they watch all these games and they do film room shit in a room together, and so they know who fucks up and they call it out there. So like you don't need to go and like call it out in front of everybody. Like, the guy already is like.
But like him just going, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. Like it was just like wild and insulting him is crazy to me. Yeah, but that's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. He's almost 30-year-old man.
What are we doing here? Cowboys, Jags, Bears, Giants. This is a fascinating category.
Yeah, I have different reasons for each team. So
yeah, go ahead.
The Cowboys, it's like what are we doing here? It's like you don't really have a defensive line that can pressure anybody. Like Russell Wilson threw for like 500 yards on you. Like
they stopped the run though without Micah there.
Like what are we doing here, right? Like you're paying Dak all this money. What are we doing? Like it's just you're cheap.
Gotta pay Dak.
Like, and the Jags, it's like Trevor Lawrence. Like he still is not doing anything special. It's like it's time to shit or get off the pot. You know what are we doing here? Like the Bears, same with the Caleb. It's like
your guy Caleb, by the way.
My guy Caleb,
who you championed, and I said who was a garbage player from day one. Since I saw him crying at USC, I thought this guy sucks.
To me, it's more a Ben Johnson thing. Like, you're supposed to be this genius. Like, show me something. Like, I don't see anything.
I blame Caleb. Caleb's supposed to make special things happen.
Yeah,
he can't do fuck all.
I don't know. I like Mike McDaniel he's at his lowest point right now. But when he first showed up on the Dolphins and his first couple of seasons, really, the offense was like electric and innovative and different. And Ben Johnson's supposed to be the same type of guy, and then he gets a job, and the offense looks like dog shit. So like, I don't know, man. What are we doing here? Are you that guy?
Looks like dog shit because Caleb he's worse than they expected him to be, by far. He was bad last year, bad this year. You know what I mean? Like it's like he could be coached by fucking Bill Walsh himself, and he ain't making shit happen because Caleb stinks. And the Giants, your guy?
Yeah, the Giants. It's like, why isn't Jackson Dart playing? What are we doing
here? Why they keep throwing Russ out there?
Yeah,
that Giants Cowboys game was so miserable. I could not believe they aired it on television. They preempted the game of America's game of the week, the Super Bowl rematch. Everybody was waiting for it. Chiefs, Eagles. And they're like, wait a minute, we have two of the worst teams in football both trying to lose. Why? Why did they make me watch it? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's just because the Cowboys are like America's team or whatever.
Yeah, and the Giants are in New York. So it's like
I hate it so much. Yeah. Okay, pathetic losers. All pretty self-explanatory. You got four of the biggest losers. Although I think the Saints are better than people expected them to be.
Yeah, I mean they're not the worst team in the league. That's for
No,
sure.
but they're. And then last year I go 0-3. Now what is
I
that
mean
about?
that
Why
yeah,
does it say
they're
0-3?
0-3. No one else is
Oh, they're the
0-3.
only 0-3 team, right?
Yeah, so it's like they are the bottom of the barrel. They are the worst team in the league.
What's fascinating is you made this before last night's game.
No, I made this.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
I could have, yeah. I mean, they didn't even. They fucking covered though. I mean, motherfuckers.
Right, because you're doing your picks this year,
Yeah,
but the problem is that I fucked up the scheduling and we missed like 2 weeks of your picks. But
that's
you've
all
been
right.
keeping
It's kind
track,
of more for like self edification, you know. I
right?
just want to see it.
Where are you at right now?
I went 11-5 on week 1 against the spread, and now I'm 0-1 this week.
You're on 0-1 this week.
Yeah, because I had the
Yeah.
Bills covered.
Right.
So I will have to go over them.
Well, congratulations going for 11. That's pretty sick.
I'll keep you updated every week how I go.
I want to
Where I'm
know.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's any good ones, like spicy ones, you have to let me know.
Yeah, I had some good ones. I think I had the Titans to cover, and they did.
This week, oh, last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a fun little exercise, you know.
So how do you? So while we're on the subject of the Dolphins, that's not it. What?
Where am I at?
What
Where am I
you
at
said
with
you
the
wanted to
Dolphins?
dance? Yeah, where are you at with the Dolphins? Because I've, you know me, I keep track of what's going on with Miami sports because I'm a big hockey fan. So I need to know what's going on with
Sure.
hockey over there.
With the goats
That's
are.
like
You
the
want to know what
biggest sport, right? So like,
yeah.
I as a hockey guy have to know what's going on with Miami sports. But
That
all
makes
I hear
sense.
about lately is how the Dolphins are in hell. So what's happening in South Beach?
Well, South Beach. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that it's like time to cut bait with like McDaniel and Tua. I mean, it's just.
Can you
And that
cut
was.
bait with Tua?
I think they didn't restructure him. So if they would have restructured him, that makes it harder down the line to get rid of him. But like they could like basically keep him on for one more year, and
Mhm.
then they can cut him and save some money and eat like 34 million in cap room for 1 year. You just kind of bite the bullet for 1 year and then you move on. Because like what you would do is like this year, if you finish say 5-12 or 4-13 or whatever, and you get like a top 5 pick, and if there's a guy you like, you pick the quarterback, and then you have him on the team, and you have Tua be the starter next year, whoever the coach is, you know, and then you kind of start that
Can
up,
I
you know.
tell you what I do if I'm McGenius?
But you got to get rid of him too, you know. It's like,
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Not if I'm the
and you
owner.
also got to get rid of Chris Greer because that's a whole the team. The organization is just it needs an overhaul from the front office down. Like Chris Greer has been there for about 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
25 years at
You used to
some
fuck with him
capacity.
though. I thought you a few years
I
ago you
never
said he
hated
was
him.
great.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought because his drafts are good. He drafts good. He
Mm-hmm.
drafts well, you know. And he like the draft picks he has this year. They all made the team, and that maybe that's because the roster was weak, but also like there's a lot of good players he picks. But you know he makes some mistakes. You know
Mm-hmm.
like he definitely. And then you know there's been some debate over the years like how much input does the coach have because when he was here with Gase and Adam Gase and him worked together, and they said Adam Gase was the final say on personnel. And then when Brian Flores got here, he was with Brian Flores, and they said the Flores had the final say on personnel, right?
Right.
But now when McDaniel came in, all of a sudden Greer had the final say on personnel, and that's when it started. So like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of debatable in the past, like, well, who wanted Tua over Herbert, or who wanted like X player over Y player? You know, there's always like a thing, you know. But I think he's just been there for so long. It's just like the fan base is so over him and McDaniel that you just kind of need to just bring in a football guy who's like wants to build like from the inside out, you know, from the interior lines and get a stronger running game going and like better in the trenches and like maybe get like a quarterback who can like play a season without getting injured. You know,
On
give all
that
your
note,
money.
this is what I said. What I would do if I was McDaniel. Again, not if I was somebody with a team, but if I'm McDaniel and I'm looking out for Mike McDaniel,
Yeah, numero
I'm
uno.
running out a play where Tua gets hurt, which could be any play, but I'm going like Tua quarterback draw every time. Tua, you got the legs. Go out there, run headfirst
He
into
was
traffic,
he
and
was
then
running that game last night, and then Mulvey was in the chat. Like, oh, I bet Dolphin fans are nervous every time Tua runs, and I'm thinking, nah, I don't really care. Like, put your head down, young man. Rumble, young man,
because here's the
rumble.
thing:
Like, go.
I bet McDaniel was a competent quarterback who isn't seeing ghosts, who isn't sort of the Jake Moody of quarterbacks. That, who's your backup again?
We got Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers.
Let me see what Zach Wilson can do.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I like Quinn Ewers, man. Like he reminds me a little bit about Brock. He's like about 6'1", 6'2". He's was a baseball player, so he's got crazy delivery angles. He's pretty accurate. He went to Texas. He was a 7th-round pick. Like he was the one who was starting ahead of Arch Manning last year, and everyone was begging for Arch Manning. And now all the Texas fans are like, "Damn, we
didn't know how good we had it."
Yeah, because this kid sucks. I saw him in the preseason, and he's the kind of guy who gets the ball out on time. Like he doesn't like fuck around, and he's like tall enough and athletic enough to like get out of the way and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tua, man. Like this last game, last night, it's like people are like, oh, he played so well for like half of the game. I'm like, no, he didn't, because he blew so many third down. Like they show the replay, and they're not giving even the full field view. But you can see where there's dudes in the flat just standing there wide open, and for some reason he's throwing it deep, or like where he's like holding on the ball too long. Where like Malik Washington comes open on a 3rd and 4, and it's like 6 yard. It's like a 6-yard throw, and instead of just letting it go, as soon as he sees him open, he holds it and tries to look, and then tries to go back to him. And it's like, well, you just, what are you doing? Like and shit like that. It's been like that all year long, really. Like it's kind of like the only time he's ever played well. Like he's had moments where he's like played off script, and he's like went to a 2nd and 3rd read, and just I don't know, for whatever reason he's just like, I wonder if the injuries just finally just broke him, like because he just looks like a nervous.
It's tough for quarterbacks,
guy.
Because I feel like I compared him to Jake Moody, but like with Jake Moody, you put in any kicker and they'll probably do a better job. But like Jake Moody could probably get an opportunity to just go try out. Like he's on the Bears practice squad. Like I feel like Tua, because of the injuries, because of the way he's played in like these big moments, like he's never going to be trusted after this.
No, he's a backup.
He'd be a backup's backup, I feel like, and that's too bad, because he had moments where he was good. But I think that you're right, like the injuries, the tentativeness of like, oh, can I run? Do I have to throw? There's just too much going on in his head instead of just like playing the game.
Yeah. He's trying to think about like, oh, should I slide? Should I protect myself? Or it's like, man, just go out and let it rip, And he's just overthinking things. And he was playing really well last year. After he came back from the concussion, he had a period of like 4 or 5 games where he was playing really, really well. And then the Texans game, he hurt his hip again, and he hurt it because he was trying to run for first down, and instead of just going out of bounds or sliding, he decided to run over a guy, and he hurt his hip again, and then he hadn't played. He sat out the rest of the year, and then he's just been back, and it's like, and they wondered like how serious was that hip injury? Was it like really, really bad? Because he's had a previous thing where he had to get a whole entire new hip, so maybe it's just probably taking its toll completely, and like you said, like he'd be like a backup. I think like maybe I could see a team like the Browns like bringing him on for a year to see what he's got.
Quarterback?
Yeah, like as a 5th guy, or like the Raiders being like, you know what, maybe this guy, put him with Pete Carroll, it'll work, But yeah, I think maybe Zach Wilson can at least like run around and do stuff and like get the ball out on time and has a good arm.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like maybe McDaniel can quarterback whisper him into something.
If I'm McDaniel, I'm looking at job preservation. Like he already bought himself a couple weeks. Just get Tua hurt, won't be that hard, and then bring in a new guy, and then just start to make some magic happen out there.
I really think that like they might just give him unless it gets really, really bad. If we're like 0-6 or 7, he'll get fired. But I think if it goes really, really bad and they're 5-12 or whatever, and he gets fired at the end of the year, it's because they're going to fire the front office too, and they're just going to start over. And at that point, you don't want to pick your coach before you pick your GM. You want to get the front office going, and then they pick the coach.
Yeah.
Because that's what they always do too. They'll like fire one aspect of it and then keep the other one, and it's like just the power imbalance gets too fucking weird, and it's just
So, how much football have you been watching this year?
You know what? More than last year.
Really, that's interesting.
Because I've been watching a lot of college too.
Right.
So I've been watching college and pro. Yeah.
So I think I've been watching like a little bit less than last year, because like I'll put it on when the game's on, but like I will also, like, if I go for a walk, or like last night, I was hanging out with my girlfriend. Like, I'm in a healthy, committed relationship. So I threw on the last quarter and I watched it, and she was like on like TikTok, and I was like, oh, not now. Tua is about to throw an interception. Like, this is so funny. I'm like, I can't watch that right now. It literally in 12 seconds that it takes to watch that, there's something exciting can happen, right?
You never know with this kid.
Yeah. Well, you do know that's the problem. But I like the general feeling of it is like kind of weird this year. I feel like in like a post-Trump America, not post-Trump like he's gone, but like in Trump 2, there's like, because of like the media sphere and everything sort of congealing into one sort of like monoculture of like shittiness. Like, it feels like the music is usually kind of bad. I feel like all the people on the field suck again, Like, not that like in Obama era it was like, oh, there were some good guys or whatever. There probably weren't, right? But like, I find it interesting of like the way that now when you watch a game that like every white guy is like one of these sort of barstool sort of bussing with the boys kind of guys. And like, I guess in the past, like, I just didn't know what these white guys were all about. You know what I mean? Like, I knew probably a lot of them were racist, but like not the quarterbacks. And now I think all the quarterbacks are, even the ones who are like Joe Burrow, who's kind of woke. I know he's fragile as well, but like, like, oh, they're all kind of shitty. Like, even like the guy Max Crosby, who's like a Raider, who's like all tatted out and like drugged out. He used to be drugged out. Sorry, he's a he's in recovery. But like, I was like, oh, like he seems like he's like a cool, not racist guy. No, he's a MAGA guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there is no, like, it's just sort of like shining a spotlight. Like, every kind of white guy like that is like just hella conservative now. And like, before, some of them were like a little embarrassed about it, but now they're like kind of not. There's some that are still, I feel like we're probably not going to see like Josh Allen go out and be like super pro Trump. I think he is, but you won't see him say it because he's got a girlfriend. He's in a healthy, committed relationship apparently now.
Sure. I mean, I just feel like football players and football culture in general is going to be Republican no matter what, because it's always been. So like,
yeah,
so like the fact that like they're all still Republican, they're just this version of Republicans is not shocking to me. It's like they're just whatever brand of Republicans being put out right now, because they're not really that smart. They're just dumb jocks, really.
And the thing about this version of republicanism, like what you said there, is on point. Like, it's not like this version of republicanism is a thing that is like kind of lame to me, where they're not like outwardly evil. They're all pretending to be in like a brotherhood. They're all sort of jelly roll Republicans. Where it's like, I love you, man. I love you, brother. Oh, we're so we're just keeping positive vibes. Like, we don't want to talk about awful things, and like, we just want to be cool with each other. That's why when I was watching football and the event that we're not going to talk about because this is a not a political podcast, I was saying that whole event, I was like, it sucked, like, I didn't even say it sucked. I was just like, it's unfortunate, but it validated me as an artist who draws a lot of blood, So I'm like, I didn't know what that looked like. I've seen a lot of death on my screen, but not like that, right? That was like a different kind of thing. And I was like, like the blood was so viscous. And I thought maybe I was doing it wrong to draw it sort of glooping out. Or like, what did our buddy call it?
Glopping.
It was glopping?
Glopping? Glooping?
Clopping? Or something like that. He was saying it was like, he had some funny word for it. And I was like, yeah, that's how my art looks. And I thought I was wrong for that, right? And my brother was like, that's not funny. Like, he got so serious. My brother, who loves to make fun of everything, he's conservative. Mm-hmm. He loves to make fun of everything, was like, don't say that. Don't say that. Like, trying to help me out. And I'm like, first of all, not joking. Second of all, like, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying
observation.
I'm a physics guy. So I'm like, yeah, like, I don't understand how there's this like new breed of Republican that is like, on one hand, they get to be the edgiest guys when they're discriminating against like a trans person. They can say whatever the fuck they want, but God forbid you say something that offends them, because it's like, no, we're just trying to be positive, brother. We're just trying to drink beers, brother. Like, why are you bringing the mood down? It's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and they're deluding themselves, really, what it is. It's like, because they know they're pieces of shit, That's why they don't want people repeating what Charlie which Smiley Firk actually said.
Yeah, well, hold on. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was not politics podcast.
Yeah.
But you're right.
But
You're right.
yeah.
The things that person talked about were vile, horrible things, and to bring them up at all in any kind of coverage about who this person was, people are like, that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
No, it's not fucked up. That is what he spent his life doing. That is his life's work. That'd be like if when I died, people showed images of the things that I drew. Why are you showing people that? Because that's what I spent my life doing.
Yeah.
Like, please show them
your life's work. Your life's work is drawing comics. My life's work is drawing comics. My life's work wasn't going up on a podium and saying hateful, vile things and denigrating people and dehumanizing people. And
if that was what somebody did, but we don't talk about that because this.
Well, you know, some people do that. There's a lot of people who do that. You know,
sure. Not us.
Yeah,
but you know, I've only said, you know, if somebody were to have been, you know, in a violent way, you know, if they had been unalived, my heart goes out to the victims of whoever. That's how I feel about everything.
Yeah, I don't want to see anybody doing that.
I don't want to see anybody. I'm against violence.
Yeah, I don't like seeing all this stuff in Gaza. You know, I don't like seeing all this shit. I don't like seeing about my trans friends being scared for their lives.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
It's fucking miserable.
But that's why I said I hate how people are like this sort of Ariat boot wears.
Yeah, but they even in comics too. There's comic dudes who are, you know, we saw. We're not gonna say any names, but we saw dudes in comics posting about, oh, you shouldn't be saying anything.
Those AI artist guys, that AI artist, like he does
all kinds of people. You know, you see all kinds of people talking like that. It's like, God forbid you actually speak your mind about something instead of just using the internet to fucking self-promote or something. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll say though, like me, I'll like tangentially see what's going on with a lot of this discourse about comic stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been, you know me, I've been walking a lot. I've been working. I've been trying to like get some stuff done. So I haven't really like paid too much attention to that. I'm just sort of like, I'll hear about it and I'll be like, oh, that's crazy, you know? But I've been very, very just sort of like, not head in the sand, but just like, I don't know what's going on with that. My social media is me talking to my neighbors as I walk across this, you know, walk around the neighborhood. You know what I mean? That is a normie thing to do. Not a normie thing to do is to like sort of go and see what everybody's got going on their Twitter feeds or Facebook feeds or whatever.
You're more normie than me now, you know?
Yeah. But I love that you guys keep me in the loop because I need to know. I need to know who I'm supposed to hate. You know?
That's what Bradley Martin asked. He's like, who should tell me who I should hate? Because, you know.
Is that who did he ask that to?
Some dude on the internet.
Oh, shout out to Bradley Martin.
Yeah, that's your guy. Yeah, you know, I can do both. You know, I have enough room in my life that since I'm not in a committed relationship, I have room to walk around and talk to my neighbors and hang out in my neighborhood and look at stupid shit on the internet that I probably shouldn't bother myself with.
I'll say like I would say like, oh, I didn't know a relationship would take up this much time, but like I did know that. That's why, as you know, initially I didn't even want to be in one. It turns out I'm right always, you know. But it's been nice though. I'm not, you know, I think I mentioned our first date we went and saw Sunset Boulevard. Our next date we're gonna go see Casablanca. Down at the movie theater because they're playing it in theaters for a day or whatever. So I'm excited about that. We've been talking about watching Casablanca for a long time. I have it on DVD, but we're gonna go, you know, watch it on the big screen, which is exciting.
I've never
Speaking of movies, oh, you never seen it?
I've seen it like probably 20, 30 times in my life. I've never seen it on the big screen.
I've only ever seen it on my little TVs, but I it's funny because I went looking for like places in like the Bay Area, Sacramento, because I wanted to go see more old movies in theaters. You know, I feel like after I saw Sunset Boulevard, I'm like, this is sick. Like, you know, they don't make good movies like this anymore. So let me go see what other ones they have. But because I'm old now, all the movies are like Free Willy, Ninja Turtles, like things I do not want to watch at like the age of 38 years old, right? Like that's old movies now, movies that I grew up with. Fair enough. They are old. But I'm like, that's not really what I'm going for here. So I couldn't find any old movies that were playing anywhere. And then my buddy, Blake, was like, oh, I'm gonna go see like I don't know what he said, some old movie. Maybe it might have been like 2001 or Chinatown or something at the movie theater. I'm like, oh, like what theater? Like, because he goes to like big multiplexes, and it was like Regal. I'm like, oh shit, I have a Regal by my house, but the Regal by my house isn't playing these movies, but the one downtown is. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna lock in, go watch some old movies now that I know that the big multiplexes are playing them every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sick.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm
We
excited.
do that here at the Roxy. The Roxy does that shit all the time.
That's the kind of place I would expect to do it though, like a good theater,
Yeah.
not ones that are just like the big multiplex things. But I'm sure it's better when they do it because it's like they're probably not just running it off of the like, digital shitty transfer. Like they probably have like good versions of them sometimes.
Yeah.
I would imagine. What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of nothing, this is completely out of the thing. But have you been following the Kawhi Pablo Torre stuff?
Not as much as you, to be honest, because like I saw it and I was kind of like, oh yeah, I figured that shit happens, and I never really gave it too much mind past that. It was like, it'll figure itself out,
Yeah.
Because this shit's always been going on, like with teams all over, like this. The Niners used to do that shit in the '90s.
Yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, exactly. They'll probably do it. You don't think Stephen Ross has some sort of like weird fucking deal to get like Jalen Waddle more money or something? Like
yeah.
Of
Well,
course.
to me, what's funny about it though is like, so Pablo is sort of like, he's not a journalist. He didn't go to journalism school or whatever. Like that's not what he's supposed to be doing. But he's the only one who seems to give a shit about these weird stories that he cares about. Because it's not just the Kawhi thing. It's also like the NFL Players Association. It's also like these other scandals that he's breaking these stories. And like,
not that I don't mean to say that to be like it's not an important story.
Oh, sure.
Because I get why people are interested in it, and I do like. It's not like I'm like, oh, that's boring or stupid. I'm just like, well, I'd rather hear him talk about the NFLPA stuff with like Lamar Jackson and that whole thing. I find more, like the collusion of the owners and stuff.
I just find like his podcast is becoming like must listen when he has one of these kind of episodes.
Yeah,
because it's like he's just like he's going and doing things that nobody talks about in sports anymore because now sports media has become so flattened by this sort of like positivity culture of like these conservative dude guys, like the Pat McAfee shit, right? Where it's just
way
like,
too much Stephen A. too,
way too much Stephen A. just in life,
right.
in general. But
in general.
But
by the way, did you see Molly left that show?
I did see that. Shout out to Molly. Good
Molly.
for her. But I was gonna say, like, when you have like all of the media that's only doing this sort of like, not even like, I wouldn't call it journalism on like ESPN or even Fox Sports or whatever, or like any of the sort of mainstream things, like it becomes to where like this stuff feels immovable in the same way like politics does, where it's like like they have the same sort of media infrastructures of like there's only positive coverage so that it feels like whatever role that you have as a fan is like completely pointless, or as a citizen is completely pointless. Like your job is to just consume the shit as you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a guy like Pablo Torre who is like also part of those structures or whatever, but just like is like an annoying gnat for them now. Or like they can't just move with complete impunity, because if these stories blow up, then like now you have something that you have to answer to. Like people are going to get mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it feels like the same way of like in media of like Adam Friedland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who will have like that guy Richie Torres on, and he'll talk about Palestine, and like it'll be like a big thing, and it's like that guy now has to answer for that. Like that's part of like he could ignore it for a long time, but when you have something like that blows up, where it's like just sort of an organic reaction, it's kind of exciting to watch happen when it feels like everything else is just a monolith of culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Adam Silver was so mad when that story came out.
It's got to be
furious. Why am I dealing with this? Like, of course they're doing this. Like,
he probably
the Heat are doing this, and the Warriors are doing this, and then like, where's
he probably had to stop playing with his porcelain dolls for a minute to like vet to rage. that creepy Nosferatu guy, dude. He had to just be like, God damn it.
Put down my dolls.
I mean, the problem is with that whole thing is like, if it was any other owner, it would be less of a problem. But Steve Ballmer is the richest owner in all of sports, period.
Yeah.
And like the NBA bends over backwards to appease the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like,
yeah, they got to do something about it. They really something has to be done.
They want that guy in that position because like Adam Silver is he is Adam Silver's boss, not vice versa, right? And like so Adam Silver has to like check to make sure shit's okay with him about all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Because he's the head guy. That's why like Mark Cuban running around talking wild shit on Pablo Torres' podcast today. They're like Mark Cuban is like Steve Ballmer's burner person. Like he's like a burner account, but like if you have a person just running around just like saying what you feel and think because you don't want people to know it's you saying and thinking that.
Yeah.
It's like it's really wild that like you have a guy who's like very rich, established guy like Mark Cuban who's willing to debase himself week in and week out now to defend this guy who could give a fuck less about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's always a rich guy hierarchy. Like he's got more money than Cuban, so Cuban will, do his dirty work for him. It's like you're below me, man.
Yeah,
do my work.
It's been fascinating. That's why.
Yeah, you know what's crazy to me about the Kawhi thing is like, all that's crazy. Then it's a guy who like can't play more than 40 games a season, and like they haven't gotten out. Like they even make it to the conference finals. They might have done that once.
You know what's crazy about that last episode? They were talking about how like Kawhi might have been sitting out games because he didn't get that extra money from the side deal. Like the timing of like, dude, it's so crazy. Like Steve Ballmer's ex-roommate, his former roommate from college, who was like the only guy who like Ballmer owns like 99% of the team. This other guy owns the other 1%. And that guy, like a week before Kawhi was supposed to get his payment, had to like give this company the money, and they gave all of that money directly to Kawhi. And then after he got the money, his knee fixed and he played a bunch of games after that.
That's awesome.
His knee was hurt and he wasn't playing at all.
That's awesome.
So, like the timing of it is crazy. And like they keep like Mark Cuban keeps going like, yeah, well, you can't prove that. To prove that, you would have to have this. And then Pablo will come out, oh, we have that. And then Mark Cuban will be like, okay, well, I'm not talking to you. Like it's so funny. But that's what I'm saying. Like Pablo's like a weird, like little gnat for these people who are used to just moving with impunity. And it's not like I said it like this is how the right wing government works. This is how it's like a bipartisan, like sort of agreement of how the world is supposed to work by the wealthy against the poor. And the wealthy are supposed to move with this like invincibility because of like meritocracy. Like I'm smart, I'm good because I have money. You're dumb. You have to listen to me because you don't have money, right? And like not like Pablo's like a poor guy. I'm sure he's like pretty well off from being on TV and now this new podcast deal that he's got. But like he's not
closer to us
not
than them.
Steve Ballmer. He's not fucking Mark Cuban, and he's just like he's not even like Bill Belichick. So like when he sees these people and he's just like exposing them as being not like the thing that I think Cuban is so mad about in regard to this story is not that like Ballmer looks crooked, is that he looks fucking stupid because he got scammed by these scam artists that are also fucking stupid, and he did it in a stupid way that leaves an obvious breadcrumb to like goes directly to him and nobody else, right? Like it could only be Ballmer who's doing this shit to accomplish Ballmer's ends.
And brazen, just to,
and like Cuban going like, but a smart guy would never do that. And it's like, okay, Steve Ballmer is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, have you seen him during the games? Like, look at him. He looks like a moron. He's made a lot of money doing it. Like,
yeah, but that breaks the illusion, right? Of like, well, a smart guy would never do that. Like, right, he's not smart. He's a dummy. He's a big fucking idiot who managed to get his wealth through a number of different ways. Maybe he's an idiot savant, but he's not a smart guy inherently about everything. And like, it just, for Mark Cuban, that is like soul crushing to imagine this guy who you assume is like super, super smart because he's super successful, more successful even than you, and he is a bumbling idiot.
I'd be like, hey, Mark, so then if that's true, then what did you do to get more money in Dirk's hand? And if so, maybe what did you do in the 2011 season? And maybe we should like negate that entire title because.
Well, like Cuban's thing is like he didn't do anything wrong because he had already got in trouble for trying to do that in the past. Like when he tried to get DeAndre Jordan or somebody, like he tried to do, like he got fined, like Ballmer did. So Cuban was like, well, he already got in trouble for that, so why would he do it again in a different way? But what do you mean? Because he's trying to do it again in a different way. But again, like in Cuban's mind, like, well, he's a smart guy, he wouldn't do that. Like, no, he's a dumb guy. He's only just happens to be rich. But anyways, that's what to me is fascinating about that sports story.
Yeah,
is
no,
like
the greed and then the corruption is just like
it's the same thing with
of society.
It's the same thing with the Players Association.
Yeah.
Like that union had been completely corrupted by these people who saw an access to wealth and being able to like get connections to like screw union members at the behest of rich people. They all took it. They were shameless about it. And then Pablo was like, hey, did anybody notice that they did that? And they're like, oh my God, what the fuck? You know? Like, it's not like
no, they hadn't. Why did you say anything?
Right. And like the NFL players like, oh, he's a snitch. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, no, the people don't exist to allow you to commit crimes and rip off other people. You know, like if we all did that, there wouldn't be much of a society to live in.
The fundamental truth is that like police forces exist and like laws exist to protect capital from poor people.
Yeah.
There's more of us than there are of rich people. So like every structure, every law, everything that we do is not meant to benefit everybody equally. The game is meant to benefit the richest people. So anytime any of those kind of like cracks in like the maintaining of that thing, of that like unjust system come through, people just get super upset about it because they're like, that's not how it's supposed to go. I'm supposed to be like benefited completely and everybody else supposed to eat my shit, you know?
Yeah.
But this is the world we live in. I just saw that story about like there were all these
individualism.
There were all these CEOs. What's that?
It's an individualism, you know. It's just like taking over.
Well, I saw this story that I think Hassan was talking about it. We're just a bunch of Hassanabi heads over here. While we're allowed to be, while that's still a thing. But I saw a thing about how like all these like CEOs that had got fined by the FCC or they had committed like SEC violations, they all like they weren't like all like conservatives. Like some of them were like in like woke kind of brands or whatever, but they all got their charges dropped because they just did like a little lip service to the administration. Mm-hmm. So it's like they fired the FCC people or the SEC people that were like holding these people accountable, and they were for things like, you know, banking fraud or whatever, or you know, like, and
white collar
white collar criminals that had been held accountable, and they were just like, oh, what if I just give you like $20,000 or whatever? And the people were like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Never mind, fuck those people that you owe millions of dollars to.
Yeah, what's 20 grand to those people? There's like whatever,
right, or whatever it is. Like, that's just a some, you know.
Yeah, anything. The whole point of it is like they're just class traders.
But, anyways, on that note, we've done 2 hours, Tony, and I wanted to get in a quick walk before the sun goes down. So, how is there anything that you got to promote?
You know, if you're a Ringo voter, go vote for the Pedestrian because
I will be voting for the Pedestrian. For what category?
Best series, I think. Best new series. Best indie new series.
Nice.
One of those things.
That's written by your buddy
Joey Esposito, drawn by Sean Von Gorman, art by Josh Jensen, I believe.
Yeah. Nice.
And
anything else?
Know, fucking Jimmy Kimmel, we love you, brother. Keep your head up.
Yeah, this one goes out to Jimmy. The only Jimmy that matters. That's Kimmel. Not Fallon, not Carter. Kimmel.
Definitely not Jimmy Dore.
No Jimmy Dore. And on that note, hope everybody has a good week. So we might be doing more shows at this time on this day, just because it seems like a little bit more convenient for us, I think. Right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Thursdays are kind of tough because football is on.
I mean, to be honest, I would have watched the game in the call in the show, and you could have seen a live reaction to me.
I wouldn't want to do that.
That'd be
But
funny.
I mean, there's also just other things that are going on Thursdays now. There's certain game nights that have to be attended.
So you gotta
What's
you
that?
gotta play Monopoly. You gotta play Risk. You gotta get in some
It's horrible.
Settlers of Catan.
Horrible things happening at game nights, people.
Cards Against Humanity.
There's frivolity and whatnot, and I just, it's a damn shame that I'm involved with this kind of thing now. But like I said, we're gonna try to do the show more regularly. If anybody's watching after the fact, thank you for watching. Thank you for the few who joined us during the show. We always appreciate it. And have a good weekend. Talk to you all later. How do I
Peace.
talk to you later?